Well, hi, this is the November 2014 World of Equine News right here on Speaking of Horses. I'm your host, Wayne Williams. Welcome. First, we go to Lexington, Kentucky. Thoroughbred champion Cigar died Wednesday, October 7th, at Rood and Riddle Equine Hospital from complications following surgery for severe osteoarthritis in his neck. He was foaled April 18, 1990, the Hall of Fame horse and longtime visitor favorite at the Kentucky Horse Park's Hall of Champions, was 24. At retirement, Cigar's career had a total of 19 wins out of 33 starts, with earnings of $9,999,815, which was a record at that time. He was voted champion older male and horse of the year in both 95 and 96. Now, the great champion Cigar thrilled racing fans and surely brought new ones to the sport as he compiled win after win in his incredible streak of victories. Said Governor Steve Beshear, an example of racing at its best. He continued to serve as an ambassador, bringing joy to countless visitors to the Hall of Champions at the Kentucky Horse Park, where he will be missed. The first horse to tie Racing Legend Citation's record of 16 consecutive victories, Cigar had lived at the Kentucky Horse Park since his retirement in 1999. Cigar was inducted into the National Museum of Racing and Hall of Fame in August of 2002, his first year of eligibility. Cigar had been experiencing arthritis-related health issues over the past 6 months, and was in outstanding physical and mental condition other than the osteoarthritis that he was suffering in several of his cervical vertebrae, said Kathy Hopkins, Director of Equine Operations for the Kentucky Horse Park. Medical therapies had failed to relieve the pressure that the arthritis was causing on his spine, which had resulted in instability in his hind legs. We'll miss Cigar. Well, the Washington International Horse Show held an armed forces reception October 24th at the Verizon Center in D.C. It was to benefit local therapeutic riding centers that assist with wounded warriors. Now, they assist thousands of wounded military with horseback therapy. Getting involved in this project and helping others while you gain for yourself as well is a great goal. Get involved. Hey, we'll be back with our monthly visit with Jennifer Cotleo and riding exercises right after this. You know, we want to take a moment to thank many of the fine people who have made Speaking of Horses TV possible. King Barnes, custom designed and built to your specs, crafted by experienced craftsmen just for you. Visit King Barnes for your class barn. Revitavet, light therapy products to assist in faster healing of your horse. Use the light pads to warm up muscles before riding. It's innovative, reliable, and you get top results. Revitavet. And a thank you to Just Dump It, easy and safe handles for your wheelbarrow. Save your back with this dump system, easy to install and use. Check out Just Dump It. And Hoosier Horse Trailers, crafted and built in northern Indiana. Unique designs and factory-crafted living interiors. Amish craftsmen at their best. That's Hoosier Horse Trailers. Thank you for your support of Speaking of Horses. Jennifer Cotleo of Chicago has been riding and helping people stretch and balance to have a better ride for years. Here is our second session with Jennifer. Watch and enjoy.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Cotillo, and I'm here today to tell you how, in 2 minutes or less, you can improve your riding with movement. We all know that we need a strong, supple core in order to ride well. But why is this? We're sitting on animals that produce a lot of energy, and we need to be able to absorb that energy and manage it without flopping all over the place. And this strong, supple core is what allows you to do this. So exactly what is your core? I think of it as being in 4 places: your rib cage, your belly button, just above your pubic bones and in between your two seat bones. So I'm going to lay down here and we're going to go through each of those 4 parts, and I'm going to show you how you find those and access them. So you want to lay down on your back, feet bent, ankles, knees, and hips all in alignment. We're going to lay down. And we're going to start with the top part, which is your lower rib cage. I like to think of my ribs as shutters, so they can be open or they can be closed. And open and closed. So a closed or partially closed shutter is the first part of engagement. I think as a rider, this is a really important thing to be able to do because it can be an extremely subtle half halt. I can just close my rib cage a little bit and my horse will come back. If I really push it down and together, he'll probably halt because it stops motion from traveling up and down your spine. So that's the first one. You need to be able to draw your lower rib cage down and in towards your spine. The second one is right underneath your belly button. This is a Pilates mantra, draw your navel to your spine. So I want you to imagine that there's a little string on the inside of your belly button and someone's underneath your back pulling it down. So you're pulling this down and in, not necessarily moving your bones. Some people will also say it feels kind of like a corset pulling around, right? So right now I'm pulling that in, but I'm not pulling my rib cage in, just engaging here. The third one, I think, is the most difficult one to find. It's the muscles just above your pubic bone, and you want to feel as if you're being able to put pressure on your pubic bone and pulling it up towards your sternum. The last part are your two sits bones. So if you imagine your sits bones as my two fingers, I'm drawing them towards one another, okay? It's not a clenching of your tush, it's drawing your seat bones towards one another. So independently or in combination, I should be able to pull my ribs down, draw my navel to my spine, scoop my lower abs, and draw my seat bones together. Now I have an engaged core, right? Now, when you're riding, you really don't use this last one because we don't want to have our seat bones tight. We don't want our buns tight, we want it soft. But I will tell you, most people need to firm this up a little bit. So while you're working out on your own, off your horse, keep working that. So you say, oh my gosh, this is really hard to find all this. I'm going to give you the super secret way to find your core without having to go through all this monkey business. You're going to cough. So I want everybody to cough and then hold that cough feeling. And you'll feel that your rib cage is down, your belly button is towards your spine, and you're drawing your pubic bone up towards your sternum. And that's your 2-minute tip for the day. If you want more information, you can go to my DVD or my website, www.jennifercotillo.com. See you next time, and happy riding.
2014 is the year of the horse, according to the Chinese lunar calendar. To celebrate this cultural tradition, within the horse capital of the world, the International Museum of the Horse at the Kentucky Horse Park, in partnership with the University of Kentucky's Confucius Institute and the UK's School of Art and Visual Studies, they will host a special exhibition of ink horse paintings by Kui Qingping, a Chinese artist from Beijing. That'll be running October 18th through February 17th of 2015. Now, a free public lecture on horse painting will be given by the artist at 2 p.m. on Saturday, October 18th in the South Theater of the Visitor Center, and that will then continue to run through February. All attendees are welcome to tour the exhibition and the Kentucky Horse Park for free following those lectures. Join us in this celebration of the horse. And we'll be right back with stories from the American Horsewoman's Challenge. Stay with us. We want to take a moment to thank many of the fine people that have made Speaking of Horses possible. Source Nutrition, micronutrients for your horse or dog. Developed and harvested from the ocean on the Maine coast. Years of research and development for the best supplements available. Source Nutrition. Equessentials, horse conditioning and prep products developed by Dr. Tom Tweeten. Totally safe, improve your horse's coat and health. That's Equessentials. Echo Green Grid, stop mud and uneven wet ground. Echo Green Grid installs easily to give a great base for footing. Use it in the paddock around the water tank or use it in the barn. That's Echo Green Grid. And a thank you to Fly Predators. Fly Predators from Spalding Labs. Control flies and fly larvae the easy way. Use Fly Predators and flies will be gone. Thank you to these people who support Speaking of Horses. You know, the American Horsewoman's Challenge was held October 3rd to the 5th, 2014, just outside Oklahoma City in Guthrie, Oklahoma. The challenge featured 30 top women trainers from around the USA and Canada. They competed each day in different disciplines: cowboy dressage, trail obstacle, and liberty. Now, one of the competitors traveled in from New Hampshire, and we caught up with her at that event. Here's our interview with Danielle Gabri. Hey, here we are, Speaking of Horses, beautiful Lazy E Arena. We are in Guthrie, Oklahoma. This is the American Horsewoman's Challenge. And we want to thank Source Nutrition for helping to make it possible for Speaking of Horses to be here. And speaking of them from the New England area, one of our competitors, Danielle Gabri, is here. And you're from New Hampshire, just up the road from Connecticut, right?
Yes, I am.
So tell us about your experience here.
It's been fantastic so far. I've done really well placing-wise, and I've been really happy with my horse so far. But I love the facility. It's beautiful and well-kept, and a great spot to have a challenge like this.
Well, this is a great facility. And, of course, behind us this fine morning is the Trail Challenge course, which is going to occur later today. And we'll, of course, on Speaking of Horses, have all of that highlighted as well. But it's a lot of fun. Now, how did you get involved with Source Nutrition?
Well, I was trying to look around for, different supplements and stuff, and I mean, it's so hard with a lot of, all the stuff that's out there, different types of supplements, but I had a few really good recommendations, and I had to try it out for myself, and so that was kind of the start, is a few really good recommendations of people I really trust in the business.
And that's great, because I know the two sisters from Wisconsin, Michaela and Amanda Lane, are here, and they've been working with Source. So we had an interview with them 3 weeks ago, and now obviously with you, who came in from New Hampshire. Now, how long of a drive to get here? We're just north of Oklahoma City in Guthrie. It took you a while, didn't it?
Yeah, it took 2 days, 2 13-hour days, 1,700 miles. So quite the trek.
So are you looking forward to today's trail challenge?
Yes, I definitely am. It should be fun,
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
Well, it turned out I think there's 28 of you actually that are competing, 28 or 29 actually competing, and some great horsewomen, some great trainers here, and geez, we're happy to be talking to you. We're happy to be here and doing the coverage of this, and again, a thank you to Source, one of our fine sponsors who makes this happen, plus Esprit, who makes grooming products. So we're happy to have everybody here. We're happy to be with you, Danielle. And we wish you luck today.
Thank you very much.
To the great state of New Hampshire, right? So you stay with us, because we're going to see more right here on Speaking of Horses. Speaking of Horses TV was pleased to be a part of the Horsewoman's Challenge 2014. We did filming and interviews and some live streaming. What a great event. Also, Speaking of Horses TV will spend the first few days of November at the PATH conference in San Diego. PATH is the governing body for certified therapeutic riding centers across North America. If you've never seen or been near a therapeutic riding center, please do so, helping adults and children, and now, yes, wounded warriors, with physical and mental challenges to get great therapy. Keep watching Speaking of Horses TV in the next couple of months for reports and stories all about therapeutic riding. Now, Speaking of Horses TV is also very pleased to have a featured award-winning show or movie as a part of the new Equine Film Festival in Manhattan in New York City, held at a newly restored theater in Harlem, November 21st and 22nd. We're excited about this opportunity, and we'll have filmed reports on Speaking of Horses TV in December, so be sure and check that. Now, we'll be back. Much more. Stay with us. We at Speaking of Horses would like to thank some of the people who helped to make Speaking of Horses TV possible. A big thank you to Equine Clot. Equine Clot is a wonderful product. Carry it in your saddlebag, put it in your first aid kit, wrap it on an equine wound. It immediately promotes clotting and is a great first aid tool. Thank you to Equine Clot. And to EquestraSafe, a complete line of equestrian riding products for trail, for arena, for wherever, from reflective vests, reflective headgear, tapes, signage. Everything you need to ride safely and to be safe with your horse is available at EquestraSafe.com. Check them out. Thanks to all of the fine people that make Speaking of Horses TV possible. You know, the cowboy way of life has always been a strong part of the American fabric. Now, we caught up with Mike and Doris Merritt while at the American Horsewoman's Challenge. They are great singers, and they offer cowboy ministries as well. Here's our talk, so watch this. Hey, speaking of horses, and guess what? We're here at the Lazy Arena in beautiful Guthrie, Oklahoma, and we are at the American Horsewomen's Challenge, and this is the second day of the challenge. We have one more day to go, but it's quite a deal. We've got the Liberty portion, cowboy dressage portion. We've also got the trail obstacle portion, but better than that, we've got entertainment, a lot of great entertainment. And with me right now, we have Mike and Doris, and they're with us, and they came up because you guys are, you sang at the party with Mr. Michael Martin Murphy, who is one of the entertainers here. So tell us about this deal where you've worked together with Michael Martin Murphy.
We have a new CD that's out. The CD is called Detours, but we have on that CD, we have a song that Michael Martin Murphy and his wife wrote together, and it was very appropriate for this event. It's called The Kill Pen, and so you horse lovers are very familiar with that. But it's a wonderful song, and Michael brought us that song, and we recorded it. It's on our CD, and then Michael sang with me on it. So that was just a real treat. So he asked us to come up and be with him this weekend and sing with him.
Michael sang in the opening ceremonies last night. He also sang at the get-together, kind of the opening ceremonies party last night, and you sang with him.
And got to sing with him. What a treat.
And it's great. So tell us, you've got a CD out also that's got a lot of other stuff on it, right?
It does. Mike,
Tell us about that.
Well, we do have a CD for our ministry, and we prayed about it for about 3 years, just selecting some material for it, and it has a variety of kind of a Texas swings, a little bluegrass touch, some just country, just good old country music, and we really prayed over these things. They're not they're positive kind of type of songs that has a great message for them, and that's we're really excited and blessed with it.
Great.
It came all about just unbelievable. The musicians that were put around us, the people, the producers, we weren't expecting that, but it happened.
Well, and not only that, but you get to come here to the American Horsewomen's Challenge and just have a great time, right?
Yeah,
Isn't it?
yeah.
Awesome.
This is an awesome event. This is our first, but it won't be our last.
No.
Well, Mike, Doris, nice to meet both of you and have you with us here on the show. And right now, why don't we go take a peek at some of the action right here on Speaking of Horses.
Let's do it.
Well, Well, speaking of Horses TV is again on the road in early December as we travel to the National Finals Rodeo in Las Vegas. We'll have daily live and recorded reports from the NFR Rodeo and the trade show floor in the Total Equine booth each day. We'll have many top guests, so be sure and join us every day, December 4th to the 13th, 2014. We leave you now with some highlighted footage of our competitors from the American Horsewomen's Challenge. Watch these women in action. This will be exhibitor Lauren Henry.
Enter working jog through the box. Between G and C, stop. Salute, back through the cones. C, turn left, working jog. Q, 10-meter circle left, working jog, through cones and ground poles. H, stop. Back through cones to Q. Between Q and H, working low, left lead. E is in Edward, 20-meter circle left, working low. E is in Edward, 10-meter circle left, working jog, through the box. E is in Edward, free jog, continue to in. In, working walk. P to 8, change direction over ground poles. Eight, circle right inside the box. Proceed free walk over ground poles to S. S, working jog. Y, turn right down quarter line over ground poles. Before middle line, stop. Before middle line, half turn on forehand left to full turn on haunches right. Before middle line, half turn on forehand left to full turn on haunches right. Proceed free walk over ground poles. Y, turn left, working jog. Q, turn left down quarter line over ground poles. Before middle line, stop. Before middle line, half turn on forehand right to full turn on haunches left. Proceed free walk over ground poles. Q, turn right, working jog. Y, 10-meter circle right, working jog, through cones and ground poles. M, stop. Back through cones to Y. Between Y and M, working lope, right lead. B is in boy, 20-meter circle right, working lope. B as in boy, 10-meter circle right, working jog through the box. Continue to A. A, turn right down center line, working walk. Eight, circle left inside the box. Proceed working jog to G. G, stop, salute.
Allowing me, ladies and gentlemen, to host King of Jews.
Tricia Hembrick, last competitor of the day.
Enter working jog through the box. Between G and C, stop, salute. Back through cones. C, turn left, working jog. Q, 10 meters circle left, working jog through cones and ground poles. H, stop. Back through cones to Q. Between Q and H, working lope, left lead. E as in Edward, 20 meters circle left, working lope, ground poles on your left. E as in Edward, 10 meters circle left, working jog through the box. E as in Edward, free jog.
Well, that's our November 2014 World of Equine News report. For Speaking of Horses TV, I'm your host, Wayne Williams, and we'll see you in December, or we'll see you down the trail.